welcome back. Before we move forward with conversations, particularly with Cullen and Cassandra, I wanted to talk a little bit about Cole's conversations. He said some things that gave nods to my old gameplay. And at the time, I noticed it, but I was so mind blown with his presence and the storyline that I didn't say anything about it. So I thought that it would be a good idea to put this in a separate video because I think it's special. Like, for example, when Alistar walked into the room to confront Fiona, he walked in alone. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on, but in my playthrough, he didn't marry Honora. He married the Warden, my character. So he walked in the room alone, and there's, which I'm going to talk about later, even more of a special meaning to that on why he walked in alone. So Cole is a very interesting character. I am very pleased, although I probably won't use him that much. I'm pleased with his presence in the game. So, without further ado, let's look at some of the things that he said. And I'm going to tell you what I think that they meant. Let's do this.
He hates it all because of the darkness behind the door. Some doors should stay shut.
Now, I think this is Corinthia, because when I confronted him, or he confronted me, remember he said that he went up to the heavens and he opened the door, and what he saw behind the door was not what he thought that it was, that the chairs were empty, that the heavens were empty. So I think that that really shook his faith, and that's why he's so possessed and consumed and obsessed with becoming a god that he thinks people deserve. Yeah, right. So I think he's talking about Corinthia.
Stomach full of mantras, she burns like a beacon, faith aflame to bring succor for a seeker.
I think this is Cassandra. It describes her, in my opinion, almost perfectly. I mean, imagine she was very religious, believed in the divine, was close to the divine. She makes a point to dedicate her life to doing good, and then she finds out that all of the religious beliefs that she had may be wrong. Why did everybody die? You see what I'm saying? So I think that her stomach is full of songs and mantras, and she's burning inside like a beacon. She's seeking answers, but she's afraid of what she'll find. Moving on.
I'd like to talk with you about Templars.
They're heavy with forgotten songs, like Varric. Some of them are too loud. It's hard to stay near them. Cullen is softer, but demons asked questions that hurt him. Evangeline was kinder.
Ooh, okay. With Varric, that's a reference to Bianca. He never got over not being able to be with Bianca. And I did a video about the story behind that, and I'll try to remember to link that in the description below. Now, as far as Cullen, the demons asked questions of him that hurt, and this is what I was going to talk about with Alistar, is in my playthrough, in the last one, I did multiples, I used an add-on, and Alistar married a mage, which is not supposed to be. So my character had that interaction with Cullen, where it came out that Cullen was in love with the warden before she came a warden. So, and that's forbidden because he's a Templar and she's a mage. So Alistar walking in the room alone, just meant a lot, because it seemed, the way I'm taking it is that it recognized my relationship with him, and Cullen still loves the warden. So I just thought that that was absolutely awesome. And it's obviously still bothering him because he's still thinking about it, which is how Cole knows about it. So, okay, moving on.
Or dreams again. Woke up shaking, stalking the ground for one who looks like her. Always some rule being broken. But not all Templars listen when whispers crawl around inside them. They try to protect people, like Cullen. The good ones remember that mages are people.
This is Cullen again, referring to the warden. He's always reminded of his forbidden love for her, and he's always looking. And I just think that's absolutely I mean, it's sad. I mean, let's get this, because my character married Alistar. So it's sad that he's in love with someone that he can't have. But if you remember at the beginning of the playthrough, I said that I could not do a romance with Cullen. And I said too little too late. He had his chance. And for me, at least with my initial playthrough, I want him to stay in love with the warden. Because that's the way he's been this whole entire time. Which is evil, because that means I'm saying I want him to be alone. But, yeah, that's really mean. But that's how I want that love to go, because it was his, I don't know. I wish they could have had a romance back then. Okay, moving on.
It wasn't blood in the bath, fingers on the scalp, intimate, and then the moment is gone.
I think this is about the game gone home. That's the first thing I thought of. And then I was like, nah, they didn't refer to, another game in here. But someone mentioned in the comments that they mentioned movies, that there's a lot of movie references that he does. I think it's Gone Home. The blood in the bath. It was a popular game. Very well done. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's a good game. Check it out.
It's made from people.
I think this is the Red Lyrium. Remember when we found Fiona and the lyrium was growing out of her? I think that it was the Red Lyrium, which makes me wonder, how did Meredith get hers? And how many people are being used to farm this Red Lyrium, particularly since it seems to be in such abundance everywhere, or at least it was in that area. And it was at where the vine died. There's just tons of it all over the place. So that's it. I just wanted to do this quick video before I moved on, because I don't know what Cullen's going to say. I don't know what Cassandra is going to say. I just wanted to show and give BioWare credit. It's just these little things of referencing my old playthroughs that just makes this game special. It makes me feel like my time spent in those games was well spent. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.